6 years ago I've released my first game. It was so bad even Google removed it from the store, but after several epic failures, one of my games hit over 1 million downloads. Then after a few years as a game dev, I won a game jam which landed me a publishing deal. This is my journey. But it all started very peacefully with a little bit addiction to League of Legends. And if you ever invested yourself in League, then besides having a permanent brain damage, you already know that only victory is choosing not to play. So in a rare moment of clarity, I decided to be productive and make a better game than this piece of shit called a game. I googled how to make games, blindly copy-pasted every tutorial and surprise, yeah, I learned nothing. But just when I was about to uninstall everything, I discovered Brekkies, the guardian angel of idiots like me. So I gave myself about a month to make some beginner game without following any tutorial series or templates. And after a month, my friends wanted to check out my game. Well, in this quadruple A game you list computers up for sale, hit start, and for some unknown reason customers never come in and you lose because you can't afford to pay rent. But hey, it's not because of my bad game design, it's just a perfect simulation of a real life. No surprise the game reached 2.8 stars when the average experience of the new player looked like this.
Not now. Give me rent. You'll get your rent when you fix this damn
game.
But don't worry, I had the genius fix for this problem. And yes, I implemented the ads. But of course nobody is that stupid and they clicked uninstall instead. Despite all of that, the game reached around 60k downloads, which is pretty good. Oh, you think I couldn't possibly make a worse game than this? Well, this next one is my most embarrassing failure. So initially it was supposed to be a fun and a really small side project where I learned how to make 3D models. And honestly, I think my car models were kinda sick. Anyway, in this arcade racing game you are supposed to get to the next platform, otherwise you lose. But then some teacher found out that I am making games and convinced me that I should turn it into my high school project. They get some documentation and I receive automatic pass for my finals. Sounds easy? Yeah, well it wasn't. What no one really tells you about is that writing an endless documentation about your game is 1,000 times harder than just studying for the finals. So I spent an entire month suffering only to present my project in front of my entire school. And guess what? I was the only person competing in my category, so surprise, I won by default and they sent me to the regional round. Now imagine me walking into the regional round with my stupid racing game, standing next to the machine learning projects, robotic arms and all kinds of high-tech stuff. So yeah, I was cooked. But hey, there was another guy with his game, so at least we got to lose together. In the end, the game reached around 1,000 downloads, which is not exactly what you would call a success, but I've learned a lot. But okay, I know I've already shown you 2 trash games, but I swear this is the last trash game introducing the bodybuilder simulator. Have you ever been to the gym and seen people who had no idea what they are doing? Well, I had no idea what I was doing and that's the reason the game looked like this. It was my first attempt at learning animations and let's just say I succeeded at making something. But I don't really have much to say about this game, there was no progression or anything, character model is not changing based on your exercises and this guy looks like he's suffering. Of course the game reached just a few downloads and I've officially was about to quit game dev and became like a professional garbage man with the amount of trash I've made. Anyway, if you want to try those games, spam release the trash in comments or something and I will put them on each, but hey, don't say I didn't warn you. So anyway, one day I got a lot of emails. Turns out Google had randomly decided to promote the gaming shop and somehow people actually enjoyed it. So I thought, if people want to play this trash, what happens if I make a game that's actually decent? And just like that, I made my first actual success. The idea was basically the same as the first gaming shop, that you have to sell some computer stuff, but this time I made it 2D because I thought it would be easier. And yeah, you can definitely tell which graphic was bought and which one was made by me. But as the game got more complex, my motivation started dropping. And I don't want to burden you with my personal tragedy, but I started university and got a game dev job. So I've abandoned this project for a while, but then we had a lockdown, which oddly enough helped me, because I could attend school from my bed and suddenly I had the time to actually finish the game. Well, finished in a sense that it was playable, not completely finished. But I released it anyway, I didn't expect anyone to play it, but somehow thousands of people downloaded it, left a positive review and I was completely stunned. So I frequently updated the game and eventually I added optional ads, so now you have multiple ways to play it. You either play normally, you watch ads and skip the whole gameplay for some reason, or you leave a like and subscribe. Anyway, this was my first successful game hitting over 1 million downloads. But obviously then I made the worst decision possible, making a game dev YouTube channel. It started with this idea to make a heist game like Payday, but much worse as you can tell. So I made a few devlogs, but it had basically no views until I've made a clickbait video about gaming shop where I gave away some free promo codes. And lastly, I made a video where I make a game in 48 hours, which I thought was pretty great, but it flopped as well. So that's the story of how my old YouTube channel died. But all of a sudden one game jam changed my life. It was an in-person jam in Sweden hosted by this insane co-living place called Spellkollektivet. Anyway, the game jam theme was chapters. So I immediately thought of that one scene in Life is Strange where you change the past by looking at the photo. So I wanted to borrow that idea, except it was way too hard to make that for a game jam. But then, while I was fixing like 100 typos in my university project, it hit me. What if changing a word could change the environment around you? So me and my friend made this pixel art horror game where you are trapped in a complex and you can change the world by changing words in a document. Now you can try Syntaxia demo on itch or wishlist the game on Steam, and we also got a publishing offer, so we obviously accepted. The next game jam we made this terrifying horror game and I'm dropping video about it next week, so subscribe for that. Also let me know if you wanna see any game in more detail and I guess see you next week.